Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Barakahakwadash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Ra'aya coming at you with another lesson. And I'm going to start it off in Isaiah chapter 30, verses 1 to 3. And hey, this is for all you Israelites out there, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that are disappointed that DJ Donald Trump was selected to be the next president. Doesn't matter if he would have been selected or Kamala Harris. This country, the United States of America, which is known as spiritual Egypt in the scriptures, was never meant to be a place of rest for you. It was always meant to be a place of punishment and bondage for our disobedience from following after the laws, statutes, and commandments of our power, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Woe to the rebellious children, destruction to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me. Hey, y'all were really invested, either in Kamala Harris or Donald Trump as to bring, your so-called way of life, whatever life you have here in America. You were invested in the democratic system to what? Make things better for you. That take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. And sin, according to the scriptures, is the transgression of the law, which that's exactly what America is built on. Taking you Israelites as far away from the laws, statutes, and commandments as it possibly can, to just further distance you from your power. Verse 2, that walk to go down into Egypt, America, and have not asked at my mouth. You have the prophets out on the highways and byways preaching this word, as well as putting up video epistles like this. But instead of looking to the men of the Lord for answers, you're looking to the American system for answers, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, whoever the new president is, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. I'm going to get everything I need from Egypt. Verse 3, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Because like I've been saying, it doesn't matter who would have been selected for the presidency. This whole system is against you, Israelites. So all the agendas going forward is just going to further, disenfranchise you and, hey, ultimately lead to your death and destruction. But in this video, I'm going to be going into a few articles just to remind you, Jakes, that America was never meant to be a place for your rest. And with DJ Donald Trump being selected, hey, a lot of these Edomites, so-called white people out here, are going to feel more emboldened to be what? In that old, make America great again spirit, which exactly what that entails. And a lot of you Jakes have been complaining, online that, oh my God, things are going to get bad for us again. These white people are really going to show their ass, which they've always been showing their asses towards you. But now that they've got their man in there, which, anything can happen between now and January 20th, which if something were to happen for him not to become president, hey, that's just going to further embolden these devils to get on your ass. Hey, but regardless, you Jakes out here are, you're complaining that you're going to see that old spirit that you were afraid of. But that old spirit's been out here, and these devils have been showing you that spirit. But the first bit of information I'm going to go to is on verifiedthis.com, and the title reads, yes, racist text messages telling people to report to plantations to pick cotton are real. The FBI and Attorney attorneys general in Virginia and Washington, D.C. confirmed that they are aware of the offensive text messages circulating across the country. And, well, it's about to go into it in the article. On November 6th, the day after the election, multiple people on social media from all across the country claimed they or someone they know received a racist text message telling them to report to the nearest plantation to either pick cotton or become a house slave. The messages appear to include iterations of the following text. Greetings. You have been selected to pick cotton at the nearest plantation. Be ready at 1 p.m. sharp with your belongings. Our executive slaves will come get you in a brown van. Be prepared to be searched down once you've entered the plantation. You are in plantation Group C. Good day. Several verified readers asked us to confirm whether these messages circulating online were actually sent to people's phones. The question, are racist text messages telling people to report to plantations to pick cotton? The answer, true. Yes, racist text messages telling people to report to plantations to pick cotton are real. What we found, racist text messages telling people to report to plantations to pick cotton are real, according to the FBI attorneys general in Virginia and Washington, D.C., and Frederick County Public Schools in Maryland. The agencies and the school system confirmed that they are aware of the offensive and racist text messages circulating across the country. In a statement, Virginia's Attorney General Jason Miyares added that he unequivocally condemns them. Spokespersons at the FBI's Norfolk and Houston field offices said that per policy, they can neither confirm nor deny the existence of an investigation. However, they ask anyone receiving the messages to report them to the FBI or local law enforcement. So, that's pretty much it with this article. But hey, immediately after the elections, you've got multiple texts getting sent to, people of color, you so-called Israelites, telling you to, hey, get ready to, go to the plantations. And, I've read, other articles talking about this saying, it could have been, Russian misinformation, to just further cause a divide in this country. Or it could be our own government doing it. But hey, this sentiment and this energy is out here just to further show you Jakes that Egypt is not the place of your rest. But what? Instead of coming to your power, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and seeking the prophets for answers, hey, you're still going to go down to this American system, this legal system for restitution and for help. But no help is coming your way because, as it said, the strength of Pharaoh shall be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion. And real quick, I'm going to go to Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Speaking of Egypt, America. And this is talking about arising and departing from this place spiritually. And while we're still in captivity, you should be doing everything you can to separate yourself from this system. Separate from the holidays. Damn sure separate from voting. Separating from having this place being the end-all, be-all for your way of life. Because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction. And hey, this place has destroyed our people, mentally, and eventually, well, shit, we've already been getting destroyed physically here as well. But with the times of Jacob's trouble that we're coming into, you're really going to see that this place is not your rest when this devil, Esau, Edom, comes down in great wrath, as it says in Revelation chapter 12, verse 12, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And these elites see the writing on the wall that Israel is waking up and the prophets are out there. And they know that when that happens, whatever heathen that's ruling at the time is going to be taken out of power. And they also know that they're the Edomites and know that once they go out of power this last time, that's it for them. hardcore bondage and slavery awaits. So this devil is getting ready to pull out all the stops to, fulfill his NW0 and try to avert biblical prophecy from coming to its fulfillment. And you Israelites are going to be in the crosshairs. And hey, DJ Donald Trump looks like one of the best men to do the job because he's already on that authoritarian kick. And I did a video, the other day showing that, his prior obligations already line up with biblical prophecy. His relationship with Benjamin Netanyahu, would help in fulfilling, the battle in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, because once the state of Israel goes against Iran, hey, that's going to drag in the U.S. on their side and Russia and China in on the side of Iran. And then he's buddy-buddy with Elon Musk, who's pushing for Neuralink, which is a part of that MARK in the forehead in Revelation 13, verses 16 to 18. And then with you Northern Kingdom, are you so-called, Latinos and Native Americans, but mainly, you so-called Latinos. What has Donald Trump been talking about? Reinstituting the 1798 alien, the aliens, it's escaping me right now. Let's just say the Aliens Enemy Act, which would give him the power to deport a lot of you Northern Kingdom that came across the border illegally, which, Trump's already talking about doing that day one. So you Israelites, hey, that target is definitely on your back. And like I've been saying, instead of, returning to your power, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, you're going to keep going down to Egypt, crying for help, crying for answers. But the only answer you're going to get is that sword. But now I'm going to go to a few other articles just to remind you, Jakes, that this place is not your rest. And as we get closer and closer to the end of America and it collapsing, and these Edomites really realizing that, hey, they're going to really, they're going to take out that anger and frustration on you. Because what did you have a lot of these Edomites alluding to before Donald Trump was selected? That if Kamala won, hey, they know who voted for her and they know who to come after. And, I don't know if this was a hoax or whatever, but leading up to the selections up in Georgia, there were rumors going around saying that the KKK was going to target you so-called black women because, for one, you would be an easy target, and for two, they know you were Kamala Harris's main constituents. But this next bit of information I'm going to be going into is on BINnews.com. Ends need to die. You know what that word is. The N word with the hard R. Black family hit with racist, threatening graffiti. And this was published on November 5th. A black, so-called black Israelite family in California is reeling from racist threats that were spray painted on their home and cars. According to Fox 11, racist graffiti was found on Elizabeth Garbutt's Los Angeles home on Halloween night. The spray-painted messages were filled with racial slurs and threats on her sidewalk and gate. Photos obtained by Fox 11 shows the phrases, "Niggers need to die" and "Niggers home," written in black paint on a sidewalk. One of the messages on the sidewalk was, I think that's a "nigger die." That's the one that really just touched me. I moved over to my car. It said, "Dumb nigger." Then we moved on to the next one. One says "nigger house." The next one said "die." The gate says "dumb nigger," and the spelling is not even correct, Garbutt said. So, hey, there's a lot of speculation on the authenticity of those plantation texts that got sent out. But, whether it was it's a psyop or it's just regular Edomites doing it, hey, with this information we're reading about in this article, that spirit, that sentiment is out there. Garbutt's family has been living in their home across the Crenshaw High School for over 30 years. My whole body just shut down. I had no means for words. All I could do was cry, Garbutt said. And that's because you Jakes think you're going to get a fair shake in this society and that this America is your America. But remember, Micah chapter 2, verse 10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. And as you Jakes continue to be rebellious and go down to Egypt for help, the Most High is just going to continue to show you these signs that this place is not for you. That's it with this article. Let me X out some of these. Now I'm going to go to yet another article on AtlantaBlackStar.com. It was published on October 30th. Lazy nigger. Black employees were called racial slurs, subjected to nooses, and blocked from promotions at Tennessee Power Company. 3 Israelite employees who filed separate federal civil rights lawsuits accusing Nashville Electric Service, NES, of racial discrimination in its employment practices, including managers who allegedly hurled racist slurs at and denied promotions to Israelite employees in favor of Edomite workers, has confidentially settled with the utility, reported the Tennessean. Electrician Walter E. Clark was a 22-year-old employee of NES when he sued the company in the U.S. District Court for the Middle District of Tennessee in January 2023. So this was a young man that filed this recently, describing a racially hostile work environment where Israelite employees were regularly called lazy nigger, boy, and suffered ongoing harassment and bullying from supervisors and co-workers because of their race. His complaint recounts an episode in June of 2020 when an Edomite foreman allegedly told him, "I'll tell you how to train that son of a bitch. Put a white sheet over your head and go out there and beat the shit out of him until he hates all Edomite people." Clark also regularly heard or was made aware of other racist epithets and slurs from co-workers, including "need to have slaves again to make America great again." Hey, what did those texts say? A report for plantation duties in the morning, none of which were addressed by management when Israelite employees complained, he alleges. He and plaintiff Jimmy Hunt described their revulsion at learning about nooses found in their workplace twice during their employment. Israelite employees were deeply affected and disturbed because you still have an investment in this system and you don't listen to the prophets telling you that this man is your enemy by the racist hate symbols, according to Hunt, who was tasked with removing the noose from an employee-only smoking area on NES property on one such occasion. That's it with this article, but this is Ezekiel chapter 35. I'm going to start at verse 1. And the header reads, "Prophesy against Mount Seir, which was the ancient dwelling place of the Edomites. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it." And just like Jerusalem is a people before it's a place, Mount Seir is a people before it's a place. So this is speaking to the nation of the Edomites. Now I'm going to jump down to verse 5. "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred," and let's get that word perpetual in the Strongs, which is H5769, Olam, and it says long, duration, antiquity. So from the past, future, futurity, to the future, forever, ever, everlasting, evermore, ancient, long time, everlasting, indefinite or unending, future, eternity. So these Edomites, these so-called white people, have a perpetual hatred toward you Israelites, and nothing you do, no marching or voting or having a good Edomite best friend or spouse or whatever is going to change that sentiment. And it goes much deeper than skin color. This goes back to the fact that our forefather Jacob supplanted the blessing and the birthright to the kingdom of heaven from their forefather Esau. And as it said in Genesis chapter 27, around verses 41, well, really 40 to 42, after Isaac gave Esau his blessing, Esau immediately said, "The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob." And that spiritual hatred has been from then until now, as we just read, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, which, just look at the history between you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans and these Edomites, from the transatlantic slave trade to the colonization of this place with you Northern Kingdom, to what? Black Wall Street and Rosewood, the civil rights era, the war on drugs in the 80s and 90s, the prison industrial complex, all the way up until today. These Edomites have shown their hatred towards you Israelites. And has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. When Jake got out of chattel slavery, you immediately went into the Reconstruction era with the Jim Crow laws and the formation of the KKK, where Jake caught just as much, if not more hell after slavery. And like I said, it's been going on in the past all the way up until today, which brings me to my next article from CNN.com. A white man allegedly shot his black neighbor in Minneapolis. Why police waited days before making an arrest? Because this place is not your rest, where you will not find any judgment, where you will not find any justice at all, which, let's get Lamentations 4:17-19. Salakia is acting stupid. As for us, our eyes yet failed for our vain. You're useless, insignificant help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. These Edomites and America going down to Egypt for help, voting, thinking that either candidate was gonna give you a better life here. They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of heaven, and who's known for having the eagle as their symbol? What's the animal of the United States of America? They pursued us upon the mountains, they laid wait for us in the wilderness. And with this article we're about to go into on CNN.com, we're going to see yet another example of how they hunt you Israelites' steps. This was published on November 4th, 2024. There's an image of Jake. The white man accused of shooting his black neighbor in the neck last week has an extensive history of threats, harassment, and property damage against numerous neighbors over a 2-year period and evaded arrest by holding up in his home, court records show. John Sawchik, 54, had 2 outstanding warrants against him for an allegedly year-long campaign of harassment targeting the shooting victim. Hey, they hunt our steps. They give you no rest. As well as a 3rd warrant charging him with assaulting another neighbor in 2022, according to court documents. Now, the Minneapolis Police Department once again finds itself at the center of controversy over race and policing after failing to arrest Sawchik on the active warrants before he allegedly shot Davis Maturi on October 23rd, and then waiting several days before taking the alleged shooter into custody. Sawchik's defense attorneys said their client denies the allegations and he did not enter a plea at arraignment. John Miller, CNN's chief law enforcement and intelligence analyst said that there are many factors complicating how police responded to the ongoing neighborhood dispute, including the city's police force has significantly been reduced since 2020. On the face of it, given the results, this is clearly a failure on the part of police, he said. A more nuanced look at the big picture may reveal the symptoms of a city that has been through a trauma in the time after the George Floyd killing, where the city and its police are struggling to find the proper balance. In video captured on a home surveillance camera, so they had footage of this Jake, getting, shot. Maturi can be seen pruning a tree, Jake minding his own business, when he is shot and immediately crumples to the ground. The bullet went through his neck and fractured his spine, broken ribs, and left him with a concussion. That slayed the children of Israel with the force of the sword in the time when their calamity had an end. It's very sad that it's had to come to this, Maturi told reporters during a brief interview outside his home Tuesday evening. But I'm looking forward to recovering safely and securely in the comfort of my home. I'm just glad my lovely wife is here and I'm still alive. That's pretty much it. You get the point. But hey, as we've been going into with these different articles, America, Egypt is not your rest. And the more you Jakes cling unto this place, the more Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah is going to show you that this place has no love for you. For your eyes have yet failed you for your vain help, looking for a nation that could not save you. And when Jacob's trouble breaks loose, these Edomites are going to show you that there's still that old devil that they've shown themselves to be all throughout history. Let's check some more of these out. This is Matthew chapter 24. I'm going to start at verse 3 and jump around. And this is Yahushai, the Son of the Most High, whom the world ignorantly refers to as so-called Jesus speaking, telling his disciples in the past of some of the end time signs to look for to know that they were living in the last days, which, as it says in Romans 15, everything written aforetime was written for our learning. He's speaking to his disciples today who are currently living in these times. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Jump down to verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation. And let's get that word nation in the Strong's, which is G 1484, ethnos. The human family, a tribe, nation, people, group, a multitude of individuals of the same nature or genus. So what? Ethnos, ethnicity, races of people out here. For nation or race shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So one of the things that would be taking place during these last days are what? Race wars. But now I'm going to close it out in Isaiah chapter 13, verses 14 to 16, because this is going to be the ultimate end of you, rebellious children, as it said back in Isaiah chapter 30, who still want to cling on to this, we are the world, we're all one race, the human race, we all bleed red American spirit. The Most High is not with that. You're his chosen people. And yet, you want to cling unto a people that not only hate you, but a people that the Lord hates. This is Isaiah chapter 13, verses 14 to 16. And it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people and flee everyone into his own land. And that's going to happen more and more with a lot of these different people in America that come from other countries. As the economic situation continues to deteriorate, they're going to go back to their places of origin. But what's it also saying? People are ultimately going to return unto their own and become tribal again. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. You Israelites, and hey, you other heathens out here, that during that time, when you're not found amongst your own ethnos, hey, you're going to get put down. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Your children getting deleted, their houses shall be spoiled. Hey, bands of good old boys or whoever breaking into your houses and taking your goods, and their wives ravished, raped. So it's about to get nasty out here. And for you Jakes that still want to cling unto Pharaoh and go into the shadow of Egypt for help, as it said, it's going to ultimately be your shame, your judgment, your destruction. So that's it with this video. And with this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified. Just keep strong. We are almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharala, and until next time, Shalom.